everybody. It's me, KD, from Reverse Holographic. And I just want to give you guys a disclaimer before we start the video series. And then afterwards, I will show you a few cool things that I think you might like. So let's get to the disclaimer. So to begin the disclaimer, I just want to say that I do not consider myself to be a professional. I'm not a teacher. In fact, I'm just learning along the way, just like you guys. So I will attempt to provide facts only while being clear when I speculate and state my own opinions. So this video series is for documentation and discussion amongst the truth-seeking community. Please be respectful in the comments and enjoy yourselves most of all. Hopefully, this series will inspire you, provoke thoughts and action, and teach us a little bit about ourselves and the world around us. So thank you for joining the truth-seeking community, and now let's get to the cool things that I wanted to show you guys. Now that the disclaimer is out of the way, let's talk a little bit about what it is I wanted to show you guys. So I had a hard time trying to figure out where to begin the series, so I came up with an idea to share some of my favorite books with you, because that's how I began my journey into making this video series in the first place. So let's start with the first book, which is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book is probably the first book that I ever intentionally read as an adult, because, you know, I would read when I was in college, and, you know, you would read for high school or whatever. So reading wasn't necessarily like something that I enjoyed, and I know that a lot of you probably feel the same way. So, you know, the reason why I picked this book up was because I had some friends who were putting me on some really deep information, man, and, you know, these were guys that I was close to. So I felt like, you know, whatever they were on, whatever they were learning, I wanted to be a part of it too. And you know, what they showed me, what they introduced me to, was this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And, you know, we were using this to sort of fuel our plans to, you know, earn money and try to become somebody in this world. You know, I mean, everybody has those dreams, everybody has those ideas, but, you know, these guys were actually reading and doing something about it, and, you know, trying to be creative and come up with things. So this really interests me and caught my attention even before I opened up the pages of the book. So once I did open it up, I realized that, you know, this was something I could never have prepared myself to learn. You know, I didn't know that I didn't know this. So with that being said, you know, once I picked it up, each chapter is about something kind of obscure, because, you know, it's about thought. It's about the way that you think and how you manifest things into reality using thought. And it goes briefly into things like universal laws, such as the law of attraction, which is actually one of the chapters of the book, which it teaches you how to use the law of attraction to attain material riches or to attain certain experiences in your life. So I think this would be really good for you guys to check out, because the journey that we're going to be on this video series is going to be kind of a wild one, and you have to be able to keep an open mind and understand the power of your mind. And you know, the reason why I say pick this book up first is because it's very, very simple. It's not science. It's not rocket science. So, like, you know, if I could read this, you know, come on, anybody can do that. It's super tiny. I mean, you know, most of you guys would probably be like, you know, I'm not going to read that whole thing. This is a small book, like, you know. So just, you know, my personal recommendation is that you just pick it up and read like 10 pages a day or 10 pages every other day, and you'll be done with the book sooner than you think. And also, this book is kind of short because it's all written in like short stories that just get the point across and help you understand what it is that people are doing when they attain the things that they say they were going to attain, you know, and kind of like prophesy things into their life. So let's move on to the next book, which is going to be this book, I Am by Falco. And this book here, it's really great. It starts off super dope. It has this really cool poem in the beginning. I'll read it to you guys just to show you just how lit this book is. It's really fire. I suggest that you guys all get this and read it. Even if you don't read Think and Grow Rich, this is one book that's even simpler than that, with a lot of really deep, super powerful information inside of it. So let's start by reading that poem real quick. So at the beginning it says, You are infinite essence, revealed in a finite expression, destined to experience the truth in all forms, continually prodded and nudged into a restless sense of movement, forced to evolve by the winds of endless change. To humanity, know thyself. Now, if that didn't make you feel something, then I don't know what's up because, that right there, I felt powerful saying those words. And I feel like, if you guys pick this book up, you'll understand why I said that. Um, this book is about the power of speech. And you use your speech, you use the words that you say to directly influence the universe around you. And, if you get to read in this book, you'll understand just how what's the word? It's so deep. It's like, okay, when you say I am, those are the two most powerful words in the entire universe. That's the name of this book. And I didn't just get that saying the two most powerful words in the universe. I didn't just come up with those on my own. That actually is a statement which has been around for ages. Which, if you guys haven't heard that, I'll try to find some way to bring that quote up for you guys and show you what I mean. So, if you guys never heard of this book or you never heard of the power of speech in your life, like you need to go to Google and maybe search it up a little bit. I'm going to make a video about the power of speech, but for now, I just wanted you guys to look and see what books I'm reading and what kind of stuff I want you guys to be able to understand when it comes to this video series. So everybody check this book out. It's called I Am by Howard Falco. I know it's probably backwards, but I will just put the name of each book in the description so that you guys can find them for yourselves. And next, I want to talk about the newest book that I have, which I have yet to complete reading. Thank you to my cousin John for giving me this book. It was so random how he gave it to me, but that's just how things work sometimes in this universe. But I actually started reading it the other day, and I got pretty far. I didn't want to put this book down, but it's called My Words Are Easy to Understand by Lao Tzu or Lao Tzu. I don't exactly know how to pronounce that, so please forgive me. But this book here is almost like a riddle. It's a lecture book about Tao Te Ching. Tao Te Ching. Tao, I don't know how you say that either, but it's still super interesting. And like the title says, my words are easy. My words are very easy to understand. This book is very easy to understand. However, at the beginning, it's so peculiar because the words that he says is so mysterious and magic almost that it's almost like he's telling a fable or he's telling a story to like a fairy tale or something like that. So once you tap further into it, it starts talking about that which has no name, which is an immortal, unspoken, energetic presence in the universe. And this book does its best to explain by using the lectures from Lao Tzu. And I just think that if you guys never tried listening or tuning in on Tao or anything that has to do with Tao before, this is some pretty interesting stuff. It's almost like superpowers, how these guys achieve this state of being, which is like, they try to be present at all times while just observing. They don't wish to interact with the world around them. They just exist, but not in a way that's, not in a way that's like lazy. They're, they meditate. They use their time when they're being present to meditate and understand themselves deeper. And my phone is getting hot, so I'm gonna try to speed this up and talk about the last book real quick, and then I'm gonna tell you about two books that I don't have with me because they are ebooks. So I'll try to find links for those too if I can. So the last book is called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, and I actually got this from my friend named Allen. And it's kind of a beat up old copy of like some printed out pages of the book, like somebody photocopied it, but it's still the same words. It still gets the message across, and I actually love this copy. I don't care. The little stains on it gives it character to me, so you know. But anyways, this book is so awesome because as a man thinketh, it's like what would you expect the book to be about? You know, it's about thought. It's about um, this man, James Allen, who just had a way of explaining principles of the mind back in a time where we didn't have the technology that we could see, and we didn't have the things like MRIs that they could look inside of your head from outside of your body, So he was just going along with his intuition. He was just kind of like using his personal experiences to teach these things that had never been revealed or never been quite understood. And James Allen's a really smart dude, and I think you guys would enjoy reading this book because if this one's way shorter. It's way shorter than Think and Grow Rich. It's shorter than I Am. It's a fun read. You could probably read this entire book in one day, and it really changes my life every time I read it. And I probably read this book more than every other book just because this is such a short book with like concentrated information in it. So, thank you guys for listening to me. I'm gonna tell you about these last two books real quick before I get out of here. Um, the first one is called The Present by Michael A. Smith. It's a book online. It's an ebook. And I found out about it a couple years ago, and it's pretty strange because it's a book that won a contest to try and tell the deepest truth that they could tell about the universe, to try to reveal the truth about life within some form of media, whether it be book or video form or whatever. But this guy Michael A. Smith chose to make the book, and personally, I think it's his pen name, and I'm just gonna tell you that's my opinion. I don't know if Michael Smith is a real person. Sounds like just a basic name, so to me, I think that's just a pen name or an alias or something like that. So when you go to look for the book, just know that, it seems kind of fishy the way that it's all written out, and at first you're going to read it and it's going to say things that are going to destroy the way that you've previously thought. It's going to break down the boundaries inside of your head that set up everything that you know about life, and then it's going to reconstruct it with fact, or at least what I assume to be fact based on what it says in the book. So, there's two different versions of that and an extra version. The first version is The Present Without Religion. It's a book about pure science, which is very, very interesting. And the second one is The Present with Religion, which who would have guessed that, science and religion go hand in hand. If you look at them and you read it, you will start to understand what the Bible means when it's becoming mysterious. When you read it and you don't quite understand what it's talking about, the people back then had ways to describe scientific things, and they might not have the tools to explain it, but they more or less used the story form to get the point across. And I think you guys will understand what I'm talking about if you check out The Present by Michael A. Smith. And the second one that I wanted to tell you guys about is The Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. And this book may or may not have been written by an alien. Yeah. So I know that sounds crazy, but there is these emerald tablets, which are supposed to be like some kind of artifact, like these treasures that have been found that were written by a man from Atlantis. And this man from Atlantis wasn't a normal man. He supposedly had a bird head. And if you guys look at the temples in Egypt, or what they would call ancient Kemet, the temples have pictures of a bird man on there, and to this day, people wonder whether or not this man, Thoth the Atlantean, actually had a bird head or not. And like I said, you guys have to have an open mind for this video series. I'm not going to just outright say I believe aliens are true, because that may be false, but with all the information being provided, it makes you wonder. And, me personally, I don't let information go by until I've found out whether it's proven true or false. And I might bring it up, but that doesn't mean that I necessarily believe it. However, the information here is still interesting, and I think you guys would enjoy hearing about that too. But I have plans to talk about each and every one of those topics in a video sometime in the future. But for now, I'm just going to wrap it up and tell you guys thanks. And I will see you on the next video. So see you later, Truth Seekers.